Jerusalem's temple had been rebuilt. But around 445 BC, the city itself was still a ruin. Its walls were broken, its gates burned, its enemies surrounded it. Then one man arrived from Persia, and instead of giving speeches, he conducted an audit at midnight. This is the Restoration Dossier, because before you can rebuild a system, you first have to understand exactly how it failed. Nehemiah entered Jerusalem quietly. No public announcements, no ceremonies, no grand declarations. He waited, then under cover of darkness, he rode through the ruined city with only a few trusted men, past the Down Gate, past the Dragon Spring, toward the Dung Gate. What he found was catastrophic. Collapsed walls, burned gates, massive debris fields. At one point, the rubble became so severe that his mount could go no farther. The capital of David had become an archaeological ruin, because systems rarely collapse when nobody sees the problems. They collapse when leaders refuse to honestly assess them. Every recovery begins with an honest audit. Then Nehemiah unveiled his strategy, and it was brilliant. He did not create one massive labor force. Instead, he decentralized the project, family by family, guild by guild, neighborhood by neighborhood. Many rebuilt the section directly in front of their own homes. Everyone became personally invested. Ironically, Jerusalem was rebuilt almost opposite of Solomon's system. Solomon often built through centralized extraction. Nehemiah rebuilt through distributed responsibility. The people weren't rebuilding someone else's city, they were rebuilding their own future. Then the attacks began. Sanballat, Tobiah, Geshem. Mockery became intimidation. Intimidation became threats. Threats became assassination attempts. Repeatedly, they invited Nehemiah to meet them on the plain of Ono. But Nehemiah saw the trap. His answer became legendary. I am doing a great work and cannot come down. The mission continued. The danger became so severe that the workers reorganized. Half stood guard, half built. Laborers carried weapons, trumpeters stood ready. One hand built, the other prepared for war. Jerusalem was literally rebuilt under combat conditions, stone by stone, gate by gate. Because restoration rarely happens in peaceful conditions, most rebuilding occurs while opposition still exists. The work cannot wait until every threat disappears. Then comes one of the most astonishing numbers in Scripture. 52 days. That's all it took. A city left in ruins for nearly 140 years, rebuilt in less than 2 months. Not because enemies disappeared, not because resources suddenly appeared, but because the system worked. Clear leadership, distributed responsibility, constant vigilance. Nehemiah did not simply rebuild walls, he rebuilt confidence, identity, hope. If you follow this investigation from Egypt to the Promised Land, you've noticed the same evidence trail, the wind dynamics behind the Red Sea crossing, the scorched summit at the real Mount Sinai, the mud brick collapse at Jericho. That entire forensic case file is compiled in the Exodus to Conquest Master Dossier. Link in the description. The enemies of Jerusalem believed the city was too damaged to recover, too divided, too vulnerable. History proved otherwise. The midnight audit exposed the damage. The decentralized rebuild gave every family a stake in it. The sword and trowel discipline kept it standing under threat. Together, that's what turned ruins into a city again. But even after Jerusalem's walls stood, another mystery remained. For nearly 400 years, the biblical narrative goes remarkably quiet. Yet archaeology tells us the story never stopped, because hidden on an island in Egypt, ancient documents were waiting to be discovered. Documents that illuminate one of the most mysterious periods in biblical history. The Elephantine Papyri, the silent intertestamental void, is next. The next file is already being prepared.